While I'm out here dreaming of getting my Porsche out of storage, my friend Emilio and his mom went to California because Emilio's mom decided to buy, it looks like on a whim, a 1974 BMW 2002. The 2002 had an engine swap, so it's actually running an M42 from a 318i, which 4-cylinder, fuel-injected, like modern engine. Obviously, it's still out of something from like the late 80s or early 90s, but it means they had to go and pick it up in California and drive it all the way back to Boston. So the other day, we were working on Liam's E36 with an S54 swap. I guess there's a lot of BMW engine swaps in my life right now, and Emilio showed up with the 2002. So we worked on the E36 for many hours, had dinner, all that good stuff, and he offered me a ride home because I had been hanging out with those guys all day and I didn't have my own car. So this is a pretty raw video of that ride home and Emilio's unscripted story about that drive.
Everything rattles because all the trimmed handles are loose and it's a 4-cylinder.
This is incredible.
So nice. Alright. I feel like this car has the look though, so.
Oh, it does.
It's a good starting point. Good inspiration.
Exit to the right.
It also doesn't have turn signals.
I can't believe you drove this from California.
Yeah,
like that's coming from me.
Yeah. With the Miata, yeah. Oh my god. It was supposed to be like 4 days. We were like, okay, we can do 4 days left. Yeah. And then the rear tires both developed like fucking bulges because they were 5 years old and they inflated them a bit too high, we think. And so we limped it to Las Vegas and put the spare on and got one of them changed with a used tire. And then fucking went to Denver and got actual tires put on, like all new 4 tires. And as we were going to Denver, we were trying to teach my girlfriend how to drive manual so she could drive it, and the starter died, and so then we could only bump start it, so that was a whole other thing.
Jeez.
And then we got to Denver and got a starter put on at like a super awesome BMW shop.
Go that way.
That way. This way?
Yeah, go to this one. Right here.
And then me and my girlfriend went to go get food, and my mom drove it. And what happens is the key sticks in the start position, and she just like basically drove it like 15 minutes or so and just burned the new starter out because it's stuck. And she just took the sound to be like an old car sound. And then we went back the next day and got a new starter put in, and so that basically we took like a week, so 2 extra days, which was miserable. I was like, yeah, we can do 1,000 miles a day, right? And then it was like,
1,000's tough.
Yeah,
it really is. Like 800 is really where you start to feel like, all right.
1,000. I've driven across once in like a pretty new VW station wagon. And my significant other has done it 3 times so far, because she's from California and she just drove over here with all her shit. So 1,000 miles is like kind of doable in a regular car. This car not so much. I think we were getting like 600 or 500. We're like happy with that. We're fine. It was such a weird fluctuation because we went through Las Vegas and it was like 95 and we had all the windows open, and then through the Rockies to Denver we were at like 10,000 feet for a while and just got hit with like hail.
Yeah, it's unbelievable when the weather hits.
Exactly.
You're so used to just driving, and then when like something bad happens, you're like, no, we'll just go through it. But like sometimes the weather's just like, absolutely not, we're gonna ruin you.
No, it's fine. Yeah. So we were like, they were salting the roads, and like people were still skiing, and it was like a week ago. It's like ridiculous. And the car got so slow. Like I had to like fourth, so its fifth is okay. I think I was driving most of it in third up those mountains. So it just had like 20 less horsepower. The brakes are not so great.
So we're actually gonna go straight through this, so just stay right there. But yeah, so at altitude, this must have just been a dog, but luckily, like it is, you know, a 318 engine, so you've got injection, and
I mean, yeah, we weren't worried about it starting every morning. Well, except obviously when the starter died. But besides that,
but you can always push start. Exactly. Like, you can get away with that.
We bump started it out of the garage, like, so of course. We had to like strategically park at gas stations so we could like have an angle down, which was fun.
This guy looks drunk. Probably calling himself in. He's like, there's a drunk driver on the road.
Yeah. It's not bad though. I mean, we weren't too worried about it. They took it into the shop and they were immediately like, oh, this is one of the most reliable engines ever. Like, you're never gonna have a problem.
That's amazing.
Nice, yeah. They were like, oh, a little startled to see that under the hood, which is nice. I mean, it's not. An S14 would be perfect, but
it would be amazing.
Exactly, but like the guy who built it, or who paid to get it built, spent basically what an S14 costs on the whole build, so that would have been like absurd.
Straight through, both lights.
Great. Oh, I know where we are.
Yeah, Shake Shack's just over there.
Yes. It's a fun car. I don't know. I think M42 is nice, although I would do a couple of things. Maybe I want to do individual throttle bodies, but that's a bit much for an engine that's not that special.
How do you compare it to your like E30 as far as just like ride quality and enjoyment?
It's easier to drive for the most part. When we first got it, because so the gas pedal is just like a rod that slides along like the plastic pedal, and there hadn't been grease on there in like maybe 3 years, so it was like super hard because it was basically just like an indexing gas pedal. So we put grease on it, and since then like the drivability is much better than like the E30, because that thing's got a stiff clutch and it's got no power steering, which this doesn't either, but it's steering box, and the engine's a lot lighter. For the most part, it's easier to drive. You got to be more vigilant because it doesn't have turn signals, so you have to like make sure you have room. And it vibrates way more.
Would you rather be in this on the highway or the E30?
Oh, definitely in this. This actually like cruises. The E30 at 80, I'm at like 4,000 RPM, and I'm way more worried about that engine blowing up. So
yeah, fair enough.
That's although on track, like that thing is like a whole
totally different animal.
Like, setup. Yeah.
This is clearly not that.
2002 as a track car, I'd be curious, but this like as is not that.
You might be a little brake limited on this.
Oh yeah. If you put like actual pads and good fluid, even with the drums, it might be okay. I don't know. I'm making questionable. But solid. Plus, it vibrates pretty bad, but not as bad as the E30, I don't think.
So we've basically just had constant rain for the last like 2 or 3 weeks, and that means that I haven't been able to get that car out, but I did want to share that story with you guys because I thought it was really cool, and I thought even just the ride along in that car told a story, because the sounds that car makes are just bonkers, and I always love a good family story about collecting a cool car. So anyway, good on you guys for picking up the 2002. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you want to support my videos, of course, the best way to do it is by watching them, engaging with them by liking or commenting, and if you want to go above and beyond, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link. If you're looking for a Corsa exhaust, use coupon code Tedward for 5% off. And next week, I am going to be with Chris Amos, the Topher, in Michigan and Wisconsin. We are going to be doing lots of track work out at the Mama Rally Midwest Automotive Media Association. So there's going to be a lot of press cars featured either on my channel or Winding Road Magazine. Haven't really decided how I'm going to split that up yet, but I will see you soon. Don't forget to respect the drive.